My name is Lisa. Standing at the podium of the annual shareholder meeting of Starlight Technologies, I'm looking at the audience in the auditorium. My sister, Emily, and her husband, Ryan, are sitting in the front row. Ryan, who was once a high-flying executive, now has a dejected look on his face, and Emily is fidgeting nervously. This moment is the result of a long, planned journey. 6 months ago, I was still the invisible maintenance worker in their eyes. It was a cold December evening. I approached the entrance of the Regal Tower, the most exclusive residential building in Manhattan. The wind was howling, and snowflakes landed on my simple cotton blend coat. I greeted Henry, the night doorman who had worked here for 18 years. He gave me a disdainful look and pointed to the alley, saying, "The service entrance is around back. This is for residents only." I told him I was here to see my sister, Emily, who lived in Penthouse B. Henry sneered and said that Emily wouldn't associate with someone like me. Little did he know that Emily was only able to move into that penthouse because I'd arranged it. After our parents passed away, I hoped she'd change, so I used my influence to get the strict co-op board to waive their usual requirements for her. I took out my phone and opened the custom-designed building management app. Henry threatened to call security, but I welcomed it. When the security alert from ownership came through and my signature appeared on his tablet, his face turned pale. He stammered, realizing that the maintenance worker he'd sneered at for years was actually the owner of the building. Just then, the elevator door opened, and Emily emerged, surrounded by the smell of expensive perfume and an air of entitlement. She was shocked to see me at the front door. I told her I was checking on my investment. She laughed dismissively, thinking I was still involved in some small-scale app business. I then pulled up the building's ownership documents on my phone. I showed her that I owned this building, the next 3 on the block, and most of the commercial real estate in the zip code. Her designer handbag dropped to the floor with a loud crack. She couldn't believe it, reminding me of my small apartment in Queens and my maintenance jobs and the money I'd borrowed from her last Christmas. I explained that the apartment was a front, the maintenance work was research, and the loan was a social experiment. I also revealed that the simple coat I wore was made of high-end cashmere, and the watch she'd mocked was a prototype of our company's new quantum computing device, worth more than her penthouse. At my command, the lobby's hidden screens lit up, displaying my vast empire of office towers, residential buildings, and tech campuses across 3 continents. I told her that Starlight Technologies, owned by Moonlight Holdings and controlled by LS Innovations, LS stands for Lisa Smith, was the real owner of the Regal Tower. Just then, my chief of operations came with the acquisition paperwork. I informed Emily that Starlight Technologies was acquiring Horizon Tech Solutions, the company where Ryan worked. As of the next day, Ryan would be working for his sister-in-law, the one he'd once said needed to learn basic business skills. Emily was in shock and asked why I'd pretended to be a maintenance worker. I told her that true understanding of a business comes from the ground up. Every maintenance shift taught me about building operations, and every service entrance showed me where security needed improvement. The next morning, the news of the $50 billion acquisition broke on Wall Street. My phone was flooded with panicked messages from Emily and Ryan. In my real office, overlooking Emily's penthouse, my assistant told me that the co-op board wanted an emergency meeting and several residents were worried about having insulted the owner. Mrs. Harris from 10B, who'd once reported me to security for using the main elevator in my maintenance uniform, sent flowers and a desperate letter. Emily came to my office. As she stepped in, her designer heels clicking on the expensive marble floor, she was in awe. I showed her the screens with my global operations and told her that while she thought I was wasting time with odd jobs, I was actually building this empire. Now, at this shareholder meeting, I'm announcing that our acquisition strategy, developed through years of ground-level research, has been extremely successful. I'm also introducing a new policy. Every executive will spend 1 month a year in maintenance positions, and every board member will experience life through the service entrance. Looking at Emily and Ryan, I know that sometimes the most powerful person in the room is the one no one notices. And true power lies in understanding every corner of an organization, from the bottom to the top.